Side of Aging with Ike Engelbaum and also the Entrepreneurs Network show. And have a wonderful day. Thank you for sharing the morning. I'm Bob Allison. Rob and I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
This is WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit. Your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
Is House Calls on Wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And welcome. And I assume for those folks that are listening to the show in Michigan are going to have a real treat today. It's supposed to be spring. But guess what? We're going to break up the whole day for all four seasons. Right now, it's sort of springy. It was a little wintry. And hopefully before the day was over, we'll all be happy. How's that? Almost rhymes. I love the state of Michigan when it's out there in the green mode, and we have a lot to look forward to. This is my favorite time of the year. Isn't there a song around Christmas time? I enjoy right when spring has sprung, so that you can look forward to really fun stuff, and hopefully you can live life on the bright side of aging and the sunny side if you look at it in a positive way. I am really excited about having other people that share in that vision, and I've been doing this show now for close to 45 years. That's almost half a century, and I'm very pleased about the opportunity of meeting many positive-minded people. And one of the things that I always promote is the whole aspect of being able to stay with your family and in your own home as long as is possible. And that's what House Calls on Wheels, that you heard the commercial. Yes, it's possible now with technology to really have the duplication of a hospital type of service right in your own home. We provide all of the healthcare professionals to come to where you are, so that you can be in the old slang line that's not necessarily slang, but home sweet home. And one of the joys that I have in doing the program is I'm put in touch with really talented healthcare professionals that share in that vision. And Linda Schrager is an occupational therapist, social worker, certified aging in place specialist, and also known as the organized caregiver. And she's written a book about that. I wish I was smart enough to write my own book, so I do the next best thing. Contact people who are smarter than you and share in their talents. And one of the things that I try to bring out with the bright side of aging is that if you look at the world, most people look at it as being the glass being half full and half empty. Because of my first name being Ike, I have a series of Ikeisms. And one of them is that, no, I don't look at the world if you compare it to a glass of water. Rather than being half full and half empty, why not look at it as 3/4 full and 1/4 empty? And although I like to look at life in a positive way, reality is that we have to adjust to what goes on. And because of her background, Linda Schrager was able to put together a phenomenal book titled Age in Place. And I really enjoyed skimming through the book. I am very upfront. I wish I had read the book in full because it's fantastic. And Linda Schrager is not only a occupational therapist, but as I mentioned, has all other talents. In fact, she has her own show, a newspaper column, Mom's RX, and being a pharmacist, that kind of show, she associated with that. She's appeared in countless newspapers across the country, and she's a featured columnist for Everyday Health, one of the country's leading online consumer health websites. Linda has practiced in the medical field of geriatric rehabilitation for more than 37 years, focusing on all aspects of senior health and wellness. She combines her expertise as an occupational therapist, a master's level social worker, professional organizer, and certified aging in place specialist to pursue her passion of providing therapeutic care in the patient's home environment and in educating their caregivers. And she has a website, otherwisehealthy.com. Did I give a pretty good description of you, Miss Linda Schrager?
Wow, I'm exhausted already, Ike. You did an amazing job, yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm so pleased that we're talking because with all your credentials, all I have behind my name is RPH, which stands for Registered Pharmacist. That's it. But I am always impressed in what occupational therapists are able to do. We, in most cases, know what a physical therapist does. Tell us a little bit about what does an occupational therapist do?
Well, that's an excellent question. And for all the years that I've been doing this, I always hear that. You're right. Everyone knows what a physical therapist does. But so they basically focus on walking and gait and balance and gross motor activities, like with using the big muscles. The occupational therapist works mostly on the upper part of the body, first of all. So if somebody has an issue with their arms, their hands, their wrists, that kind of thing, physically we do that. But we look at how the person functions in their environment. That is the big part of occupational therapy that we focus on. So wherever that environment is, and if a person has had some kind of a disability, a fall, a hip fracture, or they have a new diagnosis, arthritis, heart failure, that type of thing, we then go to them and work with them to become as independent as they can be in their environment while taking those disabilities or conditions into account.
That's a great description. In fact, I have a small mind, so please bear with me. And I've been married for 56 years, so my wife has sort of adjusted mostly to what I do. She says, "Hey, you're always telling people stuff that they don't want to hear, but maybe that's why I do the radio show. People are forced to turn on. They have to listen to me. But the point is that best described, in my opinion, as a physical therapist actually, works on your body, helps you work on your body, but everything around your body, in comes the occupational therapist, because, there's so many adjustments that you have to make as you age. And because when we're younger, we're able to reach those tall shelves. We didn't need a step ladder. We didn't need handrails. You just assume that's going to be on forever. It ain't necessarily so, right?
That's right. And so the occupational therapist will go in, and I do this in my private business, and I talk about it in this book, of going into the house and really doing a walkthrough with fresh eyes with the person and looking to see how they do those very things you just talked about. They go into the kitchen and they have the things that they're trying to reach, and they're way up high, and many times they will reach unsafely or step on something that is an unsafe stool, and to try to get that. And I've had several people, I talk about one of them in the book, that's how she fell, by reaching up onto the top shelf. So many therapists will say no, no, no to stools, and I don't do that. I tell you a couple that I really do think are safe. There's such a thing as a safe stool, but it has to be very low to the ground with really good rubber bottom so that it doesn't slip. Some of them actually come with a handle. Many people have seen those when they go to the doctor's office and the doctor says, hop up on the table. That stool has a big handle. So there are ways to modify so that you can still do what you want to do, but you can do it in a safe manner.
Right. And, it's interesting you bring out fall. One of my real mentors, so to speak, was George Burns, who obviously had a great sense of humor, and I'll never forget one of his lines was that I'm getting to that point in life now that when I bend down, I see what else I can do while I'm down there. And the sad part is the only reason he unfortunately passed on was he fell in the bathtub. Actually, it was a fall that put him away, which is rather sad because he probably would have had more years on Earth. And I wanted to really compliment you on your book because you thought of everything that I would have if I were to write a book.
It sounds like you really, after all I've been listening to you, it sounds like you really could and should write a book because you have all this knowledge of everybody that you've, interviewed with throughout the years. But it's funny you should say, I actually never knew that George Burns passed away due to a fall in the bathtub, but as you might be aware, that's where most falls do occur, in the bathroom.
Right. Well, that's you actually, to your credit, and I was going to lead into that. For what time you have available, are you able to stay on at all? Because I originally planned to have you do 10 minutes, but we didn't really get into some of the chapters. Can you stick around, or are you pressed for time? All right,
I'm good for a few more minutes.
All right, I'll tell you what, and just so that you don't sit there and with nothing to do, if you have a copy of your book, I'm sure you have the chapters probably ingrained in your brain. I'd like to walk the book and go through the chapters and what's in each one, because I think it's fantastic. In the back, you have a resource list, which is dynamite, and then you have checklists. You are a very talented lady, and I'm really pleased to be talking to Linda Schrager, and I'm surprised she wants to talk to me, but I will take it. We'll be right back, folks. Don't you dare go away.
Is House Calls on Wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And if you want to shake hands, so to speak, and share a cup of coffee for free, I might add, tomorrow morning, Thursday mornings, from 9:15 to 10:30, we have donuts. I try to have as little sugar, or still keep them sweet, so it's sort of healthy donuts, free. We meet at Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, and it's the southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward and Bloomfield Hills. That's 9:15 to 10:30 tomorrow, Thursday morning. If you're looking to have some additional income coming in, as well as talk to some of the people that are involved in dealing with the seniors community, and it's obviously a growing market. Fortunately, we're living longer. The downside to that is that as a result, we have to adjust to the aging process. And I can't think of a better tip than you're picking up a book titled Age in Place that Linda Schrager, who's an occupational therapist, wrote. She's also a social worker, certified aging in place specialist, and she's also known as the organized caregiver. You know, Linda, I'm afraid to put you in touch with my wife because she tells me how disorganized I am, and with you and her on my back, I would really be in a lot of trouble.
Could be trouble. Could be trouble.
And I can't express strongly enough how valuable your book, Age in Place, is for anyone that's either looking to stay in their own home and do what has to be done, or if your parents are aging and hopefully they age for a good long time, you can give them some practical tips and discuss it with your parents as to making adjustments, because nobody really wants to leave their home and go into a nursing home or a retirement home if they don't have to. There's some great places, but nothing beats being in your own environment. And since you are an occupational therapist, I'm sure you'll agree, Linda, that one of the biggest traumas that people as they age is the whole aspect of moving from their surroundings that they have become accustomed to. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. That's why I wrote the book.
Mm-hmm.
AARP just did a big study, and they have found that over 90% of people want to age in their own home. And, you know, after being in the trenches of home care, as I call it, for all of these years, I've seen these people, and it is very rare. There are a few, but it is rare that I find somebody who really doesn't want to do everything they can to try to stay home.
Right, and you know your neighbors. It's really very traumatic and moving. Now your book is available. It's under $20. I think it's around $16, possibly, depending on if you get it from Amazon, or it's also available at the major bookstores. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Now, I see that you have a web page. Do you have a way of, by the old-fashioned way, of someone wanting to call you to be in touch with you, or you want to
yes. Well, if you go to the website, which is otherwisehealthy.com, then there's all of my contact information on that. And I have a Facebook page called The Organized Caregiver, and if someone goes to that page and likes it, they can get a lot of information just about what is said in the book and some good articles on decluttering and organizing and caregiving, and there's contact information on that also.
Wow, and that's one of my favorite words, is being wise. And if you can combine it with health, then you got it made. I wanted to cherry pick some of the chapters because I think folks would really appreciate the thoughtfulness that you put into it. It starts off with the exterior of the house. Do you want to address what's in that chapter?
Well, I'll go through it briefly. So that's something that people often forget, that before we even get in the house, we have to look around outside. And so that just takes a look at the driveway and the grass and the sidewalk and the steps, if there are, going into the house. How does someone get in? Do they get in through the front? Do they get in through a garage or a side door? So I go through the whole exterior and just give tips on what to look for. The entrances and exits, for example, a front door ideally is 36 inches wide. And I talk about literally the measurements of things and what to look for in the stairs, for example. One thing that I find that's very helpful that people don't often have is a good railing or banister in the front of the house to get in and out of the house. And getting in and out of the house can be difficult for people. So just merely putting up the right kind of banister, and there's pictures in there also that are actually pictures from clients' homes. And it shows, that, like, for example, the right kind of railing to use and the type of doorknob to use and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, just a simple tip is, and this sounds, after you hear it, sounds like such a say, why didn't I think of that? As you well know, unfortunately, we were talking about George Burns falling in the bathtub. Most accidents next to the kitchen, there's a debate as to which one comes first, but regardless, the bathroom many times is one of the areas that are most hazardous for seniors. And if you're taking care of an elderly relative or friend, and if they fall in the bathroom, the doors entering a bathroom usually open, pushing the door to the inside. Mm-hmm. And if it's a small bathroom, unfortunately, their body that is holding up your being able to enter the door. So
exactly.
Why not have a double-hinged type of door, so this way you can open it without having to push in. And those are available usually at a reasonable price, and those are just the difference between, unfortunately ending up in either hospital or worse, or just a simple aspect of being able to enter it. And then,
another great modification is to have a pocket door. That's even better, because a pocket door in a bathroom will slide into the wall. It doesn't open in or out, and the good news about that is it doesn't take up any room. So you can get through that pocket door and then have the whole space to use inside the bathroom in case you have a walker or a wheelchair or that type of thing.
Wow, that's a phenomenal tip. And then you actually do things that are practical, and for example, you have the kitchen as well. Can you tell us some tips that you have in that chapter?
Well, so the kitchen, and that's a place where many people like to spend a lot of time, and it's funny, the family tends to gather in the kitchen. So the first thing you want to do is look at the flooring. Kitchens can tend to be slippery, especially when they get wet if food or water is dropped. So you want to have a slip-resistant floor to increase the safety. And one of my best little tips is I tell people to get a high-backed bar stool, like the kind that are in a bar, and you can get them at home goods stores often, and just have that in the kitchen so that when someone is doing cooking or cleaning or whatever they're doing, if they get tired, they have somewhere to sit. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's a bar stool makes it higher, so it brings you right up to the countertop. Mm-hmm. And many people I work with who have arthritis, who have MS, who have any kind of COPD or that type of thing where they get tired easily, just having that bar stool that they can grab and sit on, excuse me, if they get tired is really helpful.
Right. Well, that's called adjusting.
Right.
Since
exactly.
you brought up cooking, I'm reminded of a line, I think Phyllis Diller may have said it. She said that you're a bad cook if you use the smoke alarm as a timer. Anyway,
would you write down these jokes for me, because I'm going to use them in the rest of my interviews.
We'll do it. We'll have to do it on the next visit.
We'll make
Unfortunately, I run out of time, and we'll definitely talk, as they say. And I'll give you a call off the air, because I think you're a delightful lady, and you're my kind of girl. And my wife listens to the program too, so I wanted to know that. Okay. Have a good one. Right now, folks, I only have enough time for my parting thought, which is yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with a bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me.
Is House Calls on Wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And I hope that you'll be able to come tomorrow morning to hear a dynamic speaker that I'm really excited about promoting on the air because he's done some terrific things for the Entrepreneurs Network. In fact, he's so good that we are having him back to speak to us tomorrow morning, our weekly Thursday morning, as I like to call it, snob breakfast. Yes, you are welcome to become a snob, and it stands for sharing a networking opportunity to build your own business or start one. And I try to bring in talented people that discuss practical how-to stuff, not fluff stuff. And Rosh Sillars is one of those people that talks technology and shirt-sleeve English, and in fact, it's so understandable that I even understand it. Boy, that takes a lot. Our Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan.com webpage, as they say, is under construction, and Rosh has been very instrumental in helping me in what the do's and don'ts in developing a webpage. It's one thing to have a web page, it's another one that actually generates, as they say, money or monetizing. And Rosh Sillars, as I mentioned, is going to be our speaker at the Level 1 Bank tomorrow at 37100 Woodward. That's southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. And Rosh, by popular demand, we're going to have you back. Are you excited, sir?
I am very excited. It's always good to see everyone there.
Good. Well, you always make a great impression. And as you know, our custom at the Entrepreneurs Network Group is to have everyone give their 60-second elevator pitch. So let's fast forward to tomorrow. What is your 60-second elevator pitch, Mr. Rosh Sillars?
Well, I own a digital marketing company, and what I do is I support businesses to help develop awareness of their company, drive traffic to their website, improve sales, and keep their customers with great retention programs. And I work best with partnering with website designers. That's who I look for when I network.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I admire about you, Rosh, is that it's typical of successful entrepreneurs, is you've taken your talent and actually maximize it, and you also have the talent, if I recall, of photography as well. Is that correct?
That's correct. My degree's in photography, and I've been a commercial photographer for about 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I think in slightly different channels than most people, and some people say, why don't you just get off that channel? But the way I see it is that here you have that professional talent of being in the photography world, and what is the whole web page excitement all about? And that is that you are able now technologically to take pictures and make them come alive with words. If that makes sense. Somewhere there's sense. And I admire you because I've referred your talents to other businesses, and they've all thanked me for my putting you in touch with them. And what I particularly admire by what you do, Rosh, is that you do whatever you're talented in doing, and whatever someone comes along and wants to have something that you're not proficient at, you bring in people that are. So
absolutely,
you're like a
and
one.
I think that's an important part of doing business well.
Mm-hmm. Now, tomorrow, your title for your talk, and it's free, folks. Can't beat that price. In fact,
my favorite price.
Well, just to show you what a wonderful person I am, if you show up and listen to Rosh Sillars and you're not happy, I'm going to give you double your money back. Is that a deal?
That's impressive, Ike. That's always impressive.
And your title for the talk is Dynamic Do's and Devastating Don'ts on Social Media. Do you want to give us sort of a teaser as they do in the movies?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a lot going on in social media. And in 2018, there are a lot of things to start focusing on. And let's start with the do. Look at video. Video is becoming even more important in social media. And having a plan around developing your social media video, but having a plan for even text blogging or photos on Instagram. Those are all important, but being able to tell a story well is the thing you must be able to do in 2018. As far as the don'ts, not having a plan, I think, is number one. You need to understand who it is you're trying to target. So not understanding who is on the other end of that account or who is the person you want on the other end of that account. Those are important things to understand today and always with social media. And I think another big don't is don't automate. I mean, we're often trying to look for an easier, better way, but relationships aren't built on easier, better ways. Social media is called social media for a reason.
Yes. Well, you're really taking the media and using it to not only socialize but to monetize.
Sure.
And I'm just wondering if you don't mind sharing, if someone wants to get a hold of you, first of all, what's the most efficient way to do that?
Well, you can always go to my website, and it's rosh.media. And I also have a YouTube channel if you're interested in some additional tips after you attend the meeting tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All you go is to rosh.video, and that will take you to the site.
Rosh.
So if you remember rosh.media or rosh.video, great way to get a hold of me.
Well, Rosh is spelled R-O-S-H, correct?
Correct.
And are you ready to say, wow, Rosh Sillars? Get ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, well, people, even if they're not Jewish, have heard the word Rosh Hashanah. Well, the significance of that, the Hebrew word for Rosh represents head, H-E-A-D. So in other words, you use in your own name the ability and importance of using your head. Is that a wow or is that a wow?
It works for me.
And the last name is Sillars, so you're a seller. So you help people sell. Can you share with us, you made a very, very important point, and that is that, and I'd like to add, first of all, to the don'ts. Don't think just because you are talented enough to get on the webpage and what have you that you're suddenly going to also be able to put the proper content on. And here you're trying to present yourself. Do you assist people so that they can present themselves in as professional way as is possible? Is that part of your service?
Oh, absolutely. Strategy is a big part of my service, whether it's social media, digital marketing in general, helping companies, even if they want to do it themselves. I work with a lot of individual professionals as well as companies to develop the strategy and plan that puts them in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like to use Ikeisms because of my first name, and some of them I just repeat as is, and the one that I repeat quite often is that the next worst thing to not knowing is not knowing that you don't know. And it's so easy when you watch like these professional presentations and you say, hey, I can do that for me, and then you go ahead and you try what guess what? Whoops, I didn't know that my just babbling on about what I think people want to hear is indeed what they do want to hear. And I must commend you that that is one of the vital things that's someone that's a professional like you can assist. That, hey, wait a minute, you already covered it. You got to know who your audience is. I think was from Music Man. You got to know your territory, right? So,
right.
So I know that you have a very professional approach to things. Walk us through if someone checks out Rosh.media. What can they expect in their initial visit with Rosh Sillars?
Well, initial visit is really just getting to understand, one, their business, two, try to figure out who the audience is, three, try to understand what separates them from the competition. And once you understand those things, once you understand who you are and who you're targeting, and honestly, what is the problem you are solving for the customer, when you understand those things, you can start to put together the plan that I mentioned in the very beginning about developing awareness for the company, driving traffic to the website or the front door, improving conversions or sales, and then retaining the customers that you work so hard to earn. And so we go through that process and with an initial conversation, and then if the client wishes to continue on, we set up more appointments.
Mm-hmm. And that initial visit, I assume, is complimentary, or you charge?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we will. If you're nearby, I'm always happy to meet with you. We also use the system called Zoom, Zoom.us, and we can do a face-to-face over the computer, and it works out very well.
Right. Well, that is a wonderful thing about technology, I don't have to tell you, is that the physical presence, although it's certainly probably what most people would feel comfortable with, is great. But with the time involved to get back and forth, and I might add with the wonderful roads we have,
yeah.
If you can avoid
going through them right now.
So the whole experience can be that much more pleasant and that much more efficient. And as far as the type of businesses that you feel most comfortable, is there a particular business that you feel more involved in than others, or do they usually have the same sort of a need?
Yeah, a lot of times I hear people talk about people in my industry, digital marketing, who specialize in a specific industry, and I try to avoid that because if I'm working, let's say, 2 plumbers, well, which one do I do the better job for? So you can't. I only accept one person from each industry and territory, so I'm not competing against myself, and that works very well.
So
I've worked with a lot of different types of businesses through the years. I get to know your business, but my job is to understand my business, how to get the job done, and that's what I do.
And as far as your relationship, once I assume the big part of it is setting up a proper website, is there like an ongoing relationship that you have?
Yeah. Right. So a big part of what I do, that's why I work a lot with web designers, is because once the website is launched, and I have a team of people that I work with, certainly for developing websites, but the thing is, after you launch the website, the question is, now what? And that's what we are. We're the now what. We take the time to develop that marketing plan after the website is launched. And so that's what we do. And so that's our focus. So yeah, it's continuous. After your website, you have to have a good website first. So if you need to update that or improve it, we'll work with you to do that. But then once it's launched, then we try to make it work for you and actually make your investment make money for you.
Now, do you have a recommendation as to how frequently someone should freshen up their website, or is it dependent specifically depending on what industry they're in?
It depends. Generally, it's kind of like fashion, Ike. Every 3 years or so, is a good way to look at it. If you're at 3 years, you might want to start considering it. Take a look at your competition, see where you are compared to them. Maybe your competition, waits 7, 8, 10 years to update their website. So maybe you have a little more longevity with your current website. But the key is to make sure it's, Google is happy with it. It's a mobile-friendly, easy to use, easy to understand site. And if that's the case, you're okay.
Well, then that's good, and I know you're better than okay, and people find that out on their own if they show up tomorrow morning at the Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward. It's intended to help you improve what you already have on the webpage, but as something that I'm very proud of, we help you in giving you the right direction as to starting your own business. And I don't know how you can launch anything today in terms of a business unless you've got a professional helping you make your best presentation. We always talk about how important a business card is as to making a good impression. Well, I got news for you. This is the year 2018. Now technology is your business card. So you better make it look good. And Rosh Sillars will help you in your selling. How about Sillars and selling? Wow. Look forward to seeing it. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. We'll be right back, folks. Don't you go away. We got some interesting stuff coming out of Tech Town, T-E-C-H Town, right in Detroit, that you should know about. Don't you dare go away. We will be right back.
Is House Calls on Wheels. And if you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And a friendly reminder, if you are an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, age is not a limit. In fact, we have what I like to call not only the usual entrepreneur type spirit, but we have encore entrepreneurship, because in a practical way, although we figured that once we became 65 or possibly over 50, that I retire, and between Social Security and my investments, I'm good to go. Well, you may be good to go, but monetarily, you may not have the type of money that you need. So it is not uncommon to get into business no matter what age you are. And that's what our theme is that depending on whether you want to start your own business or find out about home-based business opportunities, I frankly belong to 3 different home-based businesses because each has their own market, and that's really the key. And that's what we do. We try to evaluate what your needs are, both financially and also, I might add, mentally. If you are going into business assuming that just because you have a dumb friend in business and seems to be doing very well, and you feel, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. It don't work that way, folks. Your quote-unquote dumb-appearing friend may not be socially smart, but when it comes to the business side, they have a talent that you're not aware of. So you have to tap into your talents, and we help you in that area. And you're more than welcome to join us for a couple of meetings. There's no charge. If you do decide to stay on, we have a grand total of like $1 a year, $1 a day, I should say, for a year, which if you can't invest $1 a day for ongoing mentoring as well as guidance, then you should consider another career path. There is no way that you can be successful in business without reaching out to other people who can help you in your venture. As I like to joke about it, if you want to be successful in life, the two biggest decisions that you have to make is, number one, if you're going to have a partner in business, make sure that the partner has talents that you do not have, because going into business with someone that happens to be a great social friend and enjoy sports games together and going to the bars and restaurants and what have you, that's fun for the weekends or after hours. But during the day in the business, having a social friend that has the same talents that you do is the worst decision that you can make. As I joke about it, if the friend that you pick to be a partner has the exact same talents as you do, then one of you is too many. So that's number one in your professional career. And of course, in a personal basis, is hopefully you pick the right partner to share in the days that you're not working. But from a practical standpoint, we have not only the advice, but also how-to material. And for example, we do not have that much time for this visit, but I have a guide from Techtown, which, if you're not aware, is in Detroit. It's 4040 Abbott. They've got a tremendous team of experts to help you. And they put together a little booklet on actually the power of tens, it's titled, on starting your own business. And it covers 10 areas plus 10 actual action tips, like how you identify your dreams and make it into a business, the planning part, the legal part, the money part, financial management, what you'll need for assistance in human resources, sales and marketing. Gives you secrets to success. And, of course, public relations. So, aside from our weekly Thursday morning meetings from 9:15 to 10:30 at Level 1 Bank, we have lunch from 11:30 till 1 at O'Mara's Restaurant on Tuesdays, and you get a 50% discount. Wow! But, as they say, 90% of success is just showing up. So show up, and hopefully you can call us and team up with us. Right now, I only have enough time for my parting thought for the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
KNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about the